Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing Blood Red Sky on Netflix. So the general plot of Blood Red Sky is that a plane has been taken over by terrorists. However, they didn't realise that they have a passenger on board who is also a vampire. Pretty unique setup, I know, right? And it essentially becomes vampires versus terrorists, but not really. I'm trying to keep it vague. I don't want to spoil it for you, and I won't be discussing spoilers. So, getting into Blood Red Sky, I have to admit I knew nothing about this at all. I turned on Netflix one day and it was there. It said it was the most popular thing they had, and I was like, okay, we'll give it a try. We'll see what we get ourselves into. And I was already regretting my decision almost immediately because the dubbing in this is atrocious. They're not even trying. There is no lip syncing throughout this film. From start to finish, it just isn't there. And the dialogue is also awful. Pretty damn awful. This isn't a spoiler because this isn't important a part of the film, but there is a scene where a child uses a basketball as a globe, and he uses that globe to explain to a fully grown adult how day and night works. Yeah, it was at that point I was thinking I might need alcohol for this one, but then it started to get quite good. When the plane actually takes off and gets going and the mission starts to unfold, the film really grabbed my attention. It became quite interesting. It certainly kept things unique because the plot summary that there's terrorists on a plane, yeah, that could become very cliche very quickly. This could very easily become a rip-off of Snakes on a Plane or that Liam Neeson film, was it called Non-Stop, from a few years ago? I actually remember liking it. It's been a while though. However, there's so many of them. It could have easily been quite cliche. And it does at times, it does dip its toe in the cliche pool, but generally speaking, it sticks to its originality, and that was my favourite thing about this film. I didn't really know where it was going to go because it wasn't going for the cliche stuff. I thought the director had quite a good way of subverting your expectations. Things do just happen and you're like, wait, what? Why? It gets nasty like that. For 30 minutes you've been watching a really quite clean movie and then suddenly it's like blood and shit's going on and you're like, okay, I didn't know this was going to happen immediately, but here we are. I really enjoyed the fact that this film did keep me on my toes throughout. There is one villain who I think is over-egging the pudding a little bit. I believe his character name was 8-Ball. I feel like he was doing a pretty bad impersonation of Gary Oldman in Leon. Gary Oldman in Leon is fucking terrifying.
Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! Here it was very cheesy. You also have Dominic Purcell, I believe his name is. He's the brother from Prison Break. I've always liked this guy. I don't really think I've seen him in anything for a while, but I liked him here. He was pretty good. For what his character is, I thought he was completely serviceable. He's not over the top, he's not overdoing it, he's not underdoing it. It is just good enough, serviceable enough. And I like that. I like to see this guy do well. However, the middle part did start to lull a bit for me. I think it just sort of pumped the brakes a little bit too hard and went on a little too long. It does become a lot of people walking around on a plane, either looking for each other, avoiding each other, trying to find a way out of this situation, how to stop them from getting out of this situation. And it just sort of went on a little bit too long for myself. It did start to wane on me. And then I have to admit the ending got quite silly. It got really action heavy, which is cool, but it wasn't what the film was doing prior to that moment. It was being quite originally unique and doing things differently, but at the end it just dives headfirst into the cliche pool and says, no, we're going to do all of the things we've been avoiding. And that's where I was losing it a bit with the film. It's like we'd got 3/4 of the way through and this film was genuinely looking at like maybe an 8 out of 10. I don't think it was going to get the 9 or the 10 because that dubbing is so fucking bad, but it had done enough to at least get the 8. As that ending kept going on, it became a 7.5, a 7, 6.5 maybe. Yeah, it kind of shot itself in the foot with its own ending. It just needed to know when to call it a day. Ultimately, I enjoyed it. It has got a lot of problems though. So Blood Red Sky gets a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching this review. Could you pay a little bit of YouTube rent? All you've got to do is move your finger and press that thumb button down there. That's all you got to do. Doesn't actually cost you anything, just the movement of your finger, and it means a lot to me, so thank you if you do. Also subscribe to the channel, that way you don't have to use the search bar to find me. I'll be right on your doorstep. Thanks for watching the review, take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.